Alright, two problems were asked for the homework on 614. The first one was 660, which I'm going to go over, and then the second one was 63. So 660, it is some kind of crazy algebra, and it's really looking for things to match because we have three variables. So I'll go ahead and set this up for you, and then we'll work through the algebra. You can notice there's already kind of some similarities between the twos and the squareds. The best thing to do here is to go ahead and square this out. So we'll end up getting 2 times x squared plus 2bx plus b squared. Maybe I should change this form to xb since our x comes first. Alright, then we can go ahead and distribute it, and we get 2x squared plus 4xb plus 2b squared is equal to 2x squared plus 8x plus a. Alright, now you're going to look for some similarities. So we see some similarities between the 2x squared. That's good. And now, if we can get these two to match, then we know that our a, will equal 2b squared. So right now it becomes figuring out how this is going to match up. What we can do here is we can take these two together and we can set them equal to each other. 8x equals 4x times b. We can divide each side by 4x and by 4x. And we end up getting b is equal to 2. The x's cancel. Perfect. So that gives us 2. And then so we have b for 2. Then we can go ahead and find a by plugging b in here. We get 2 times 2 squared. 2 times 2 squared is 2 times 4, which is 8. So a will equal 8. So again, what we're doing here is we're setting these two equal to each other, solving for b. We end up getting b, forcing them to solve them, and then if that's true, then this is equal to 2x squared. The middle terms are equal, and then you set the last term, plug in your b, end up finding that it's 8, and that will also be our a, so these match up too. Okay, so that is 60, and now I'm going to move on to 63. Alright, so moving on to 63, 663. Draw this in. This won't be to scale, but it'll be close. We have p, negative 4, comma 6. Q is 2, comma 12. And R is 14, comma 2. So question A asks us for the, I'll abbreviate here, the perpendicular bisector of PR. This is kind of back to chapter 1. So bisect means to cut in half, so we're going to look at the midpoint here. We're also going to kind of find the line perpendicular to it, which is going to come right here. To do this, we're going to need to figure out our slope. So let's do y2 minus y1 for x2 minus x1. This will allow us to find our slope, and then we can find our y-intercept, or a point on the line. Alright, so y2 minus y1, we get 6 minus 2 over negative 4 minus 14. So we get 4 over negative 18, which reduces to negative 2 over 9. Now, if it's perpendicular bisector, we need to flip it, make it positive, So our slope is 9 over 2, is our m. Now to bisect, we're cutting in half, so we're going to need to find the midpoint. So to find the midpoint, we will go ahead and average these. You might remember this formula, x1 plus x2 divided by 2 over y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So we get negative 4 plus 14 over 2 divided by 6 plus 2 over 2, which will end up giving us 10 over 2 and 8 over 2, which is 5, comma 4. Now that we have this, we can use our HK form to write our equation. It's a line going to be y equals our slope, which is 9 over 2, times our h shift, x minus 5, plus 4. Think about h and k shift, we're moving 5 to the right and 4 up, which will give you that point right in the middle. This point here is 5, 4. So that's the equation for A. For B, it says the median line that goes from Q to the midpoint of PR. So now we're looking at this point. We already have the midpoint. So same process again. We need to find our slope, which actually isn't that bad because we already have the point it goes through. So for B, answer it up here, you're just going to do your slope. So 12 minus 4 over 2 minus 5, which is 8 over negative 3, negative 8/3. And it's passing through 5, 4. We can use either of those points. So now we can just write our equation, y equals negative 8 over 3, x minus 5 plus 4. Because again, it ends up going through that point 5, 4. Last one says the altitude of PQR from Q to side PR. So now we're looking at the altitude, so we're actually looking at a right angle right here. It's helping you figure out a lot. We know the point is going to be right here, 2, 12, and we know the slope of this line, the line perpendicular, is going to be the same as this one. Excuse me. It's going to be the same slope as this, 9 over 2. So now we can put that information together, and we get y equals 9 over 2, x minus 2 plus 12. Final equation. Using the same slope from before because, this line and this one are parallel. And then we're using the point 212. You can see how helpful HK form is there for you instead of having to use slope intercept.